Hey everyone, it's Adam. Welcome to another review. This time we're going to get into the JLab Studio ANC wireless headphones. Now, these aren't that expensive, they are pretty cheap, but I got curious to see if, hey, would a budget pair of ANC headphones actually be worth it? Even if the ANC isn't too good, is the sound quality going to be there, the microphones on the headset, and also, is it going to fit well? Now, JLab, I've tried other headphones like their retro headphones, and I actually use those mainly for audiobooks, which sounds funny, but especially for long durations of time, I'm not really worried about superb sound quality. I'm worried about just having something on my head that I could have for 4 hours at a time without caring about ear fatigue or anything. So let's get into the review. Now, to quickly go over what the box says, the benefits are for getting this pair of headphones is 34 plus hours of playtime, cloud foam comfort, active noise canceling with the universal mic, volume and track controls, and then also what comes in the box is a micro USB cable, 3.5 millimeter aux-in cable, a travel bag, and a user's manual. So the thing I got curious about was the fact that they're really emphasizing the two ANC microphones to neutralize ambient noise. But I will go ahead and say, let's go into the cons just in case if you wanted to know how good these actually were for ANC. They actually aren't that good. And the best way I can put it is the sound actually diminishes in quality probably about 20% with these. I know that's not a great example or a great sound test for you to just base the judgment off of, but that's the best way I can explain it. And another thing with the ANC is the microphones seem to be here, at least in one of these, on either side. And the biggest thing about it, when I turn it on, not only does the sound of the music probably decrease by 20%, but also the headphones seem to struggle really hard at blocking out ambient noise. And when you put them on and there's a little movement when you're working out, when you're just moving about, or if there's wind that comes into the microphones, it picks it up and it basically diminishes the whole point of ANC. And the second con I'll get into is the microphone quality. With the little microphone right here, let's go ahead and get into the test. Okay, here's the microphone test without any ambient noise. This is just in a quiet room. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to play some ambient noise at full volume on my computer just to simulate a coffee shop or, a lounge or a cafe or something like that. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. So as you can hear, the microphone quality is definitely not ideal for calls. This is like if you're going to take a call from your parents or from a friend real quick. That's going to be a quick little 10-minute chat where they don't care. This isn't a first impressions kind of phone call making headset if you're, caring about first impressions or just caring about how you're going to be heard, especially if you're in a coffee shop or just any loud environment now that everyone's at home and the TV's blaring or whatever's going on, dogs barking. Calls ain't going to be it for this. Now let's get into more of the pros. So the comfort of these are really comfortable even though they may not look like it because they look like they're kind of sturdy and a little cheap. Now, I'm not going to do a crazy bend test. I don't think anybody's head is going to be bigger than this, but if it is, this is about where I feel like its threshold is. But the comfortability of these, I've had them on for 5+ hours just to see how long would it take until I got ear fatigue. It took about that long before I said, all right, my ears are getting sweaty and I'm getting a little exhausted from wearing them. Truth be told. So they nailed down the comfort. Now the controls, they're easy once you understand them, but they're not the most intuitive, only on this button right here being the ANC button, this being the play pause, and also the power on off. Now the volume up, volume down, I like how they're right here as well, and sometimes I kept forgetting because I've been so used to headphones that have it on the side, maybe the other side, you got to tap it or something. But the controls are there, they work. Now let me show you what I mean by the button functions and how that actually works. So volume up, press once, track forward, press and hold for 2 seconds, volume down, press once, track backwards 2+ seconds, power on, power off, play, pause, answer, hang up calls, press once, reject incoming call. Let's see, you can activate your assistants, you got to press twice, whether it's Google for Android, Siri for iOS. You can't customize that, but the Bluetooth pairing on this, speaking of that, is actually really good. I had no issues with it, and I felt like it functioned to do its job. You can't connect more than one device at once, and I've tried it just to see if there may be something
to kind of circumvent that, but there isn't. Alright, so let's get more into some of the pros before I bring up another major flaw before I forget. And that comes to the fact that there's no latency on these headphones. So I tried them on my computer, I tried them on an Android phone and an iOS device, and I haven't had any latency issues with the connection. It was seamless, it worked very well. Like I said, there's more pros than cons to this. Unfortunately, this is just not the right ANC headset. There's good highs, good mids, but this is going to be most practical if you're going to be listening to, it sounds funny, but it's just the truth, rock music or classical, things like that, where there's not going to be heavy bass, which sounds funny, but it's only because it does have that clarity, but it just doesn't have any bass. So if you're wanting to use these for hip hop, you may want to go to something else. I mean, you're going to be really disappointed if that's all you listen to. Okay, so one more flaw before I end this review, and JLab seriously has to work on this. I don't know why they do this, but that blinking light right there just does its own thing. That's not it trying to connect. It is connected to my phone, but what it's doing is just its own thing with this light. Even when I turn ANC on, it stays on and does not turn off. I try to see if there's a setting for it, any way to turn it off. I haven't been able to figure it out. And the biggest, in the daylight, it may not be that much of a bother. I don't know. It's personal preference, but for me, it's at night when I'm just trying to go to sleep with these on, because I like going to sleep with headphones on occasionally, actually kind of often, just depending on how I feel, because I'm mostly listening to an audiobook at night. So this is really annoying. And if you have a spouse or your partner, you're laying in bed together, and this is just, it's really bright at night too. I can't demonstrate it right now, but I just think that's something JLab really needs to work on. Just there's no reason for it, and I'm pretty sure in a minute way it's diluting the battery and making it not last as long, even though it's 34 plus hours, which, going back to another pro, I haven't had any issue with needing to charge these real quick. Alright guys, so that's my review of the JLab Studio ANC headphones. I think you can go with something else. Sometimes these companies, what they try to do is they try to just be a one-size-fits-all approach, and it just doesn't work. Sometimes you need to spend the money to enhance the technology to actually be able to really give people what they bought the headphones for, given that the ANC is the highlight of these. So here's your charger, and then here's your 3.5 aux cord in case you run out of battery. So that's my quick review. I can't wait to get back into the studio, but for the meantime, got to do these inside. Thank you for watching. I hope all is well. See you on the next one.